Before we begin, just take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Allow your body to loosen, your shoulders to soften, and imagine the sky above you, wide, endless, filled with quiet light. Tonight, there's nowhere to go, nothing to solve, just a calm journey through the universe, one soft thought at a time, letting each idea drift and fade. The universe began not with noise, but with expansion, space itself stretching outward, carrying everything with it, and even now, it continues, silently growing in every direction. In those early moments, there were no stars, no galaxies, just energy, slowly cooling, forming the first simple atoms. Hydrogen, helium, the quiet building blocks of everything that would come later. Over time, gravity gently gathered those atoms together, forming clouds, and within those clouds, the first stars ignited, small points of light in a vast darkness. Those first stars were different from the ones we see today, larger, brighter, and they lived shorter lives, burning quickly before ending in brilliant supernovae. When those stars faded, they released heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, spreading them across space, seeding the universe with the materials needed for planets, and eventually, life. Your body is made from those same elements, created long ago, carried across time, now resting here, breathing quietly. Galaxies began to form slowly as gravity pulled stars together, creating vast systems of light, each one unique, each one drifting through space. Some galaxies are spiral-shaped, with arms that curve gently outward, like soft patterns in the dark. Others are elliptical, smooth and rounded, with stars moving in calm, random paths. And some galaxies are irregular, without clear shape, like drifting clouds of light. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is one of those spirals, and it holds hundreds of billions of stars, all moving together, slowly orbiting a hidden center. At the center of our galaxy, there is a supermassive black hole, quiet, invisible, yet incredibly powerful, shaping the motion of everything around it. Still, despite its size, it doesn't pull us in. We are far enough away, moving in a stable path, gently orbiting. Our solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago from a cloud of gas and dust, slowly spinning, flattening into a disk. At the center of that disk, the sun formed, growing brighter, warmer, becoming the steady source of light we know today. Around it, particles collided, stuck together, slowly building into planets, each one taking shape over millions of years. Earth, our home, began as a hot, molten world, its surface constantly changing until it cooled, forming a solid crust. Over time, water appeared, filling oceans, creating a calm surface beneath the sky. The moon likely formed from a massive collision. Long ago, debris gathering together, becoming the quiet companion we see today. And since then, it has slowly drifted away, year by year, almost unnoticed. Light from the sun travels across space to reach us, taking just over 8 minutes. So even sunlight carries a slight delay, a gentle reminder of distance, When you look at distant stars, you're seeing light that began its journey long ago, sometimes hundreds, thousands, or millions of years in the past. The farther away something is, the older the light we see, like looking deeper into time itself. There are stars so far away. Their light began traveling before humans even existed, and only now it reaches us. Some of those stars may no longer exist, but their light continues, crossing space, softly arriving. There are planets beyond our solar system, called exoplanets, orbiting distant stars. Thousands have already been discovered. Some are gas giants, much larger than Jupiter, with thick layers of clouds. Others are rocky worlds, possibly similar to Earth, though far away, quiet and unknown. Some of these planets orbit very close to their stars, completing a full year in just a few days. Others move slowly, taking hundreds of years to complete one orbit. There are even planets that orbit two stars at once, experiencing twin sunsets, their skies filled with double light. Space between stars is vast, so vast that traveling between them would take thousands of years with current technology. Even light, moving at the fastest speed possible, takes over 4 years just to reach the nearest star beyond our sun. That star, Proxima Centauri, is still incredibly far, and yet it's one of our closest neighbors. Between galaxies, distances grow even larger, millions of light years stretching across the universe, and yet everything is connected through gravity, subtle, constant, shaping motion over time. Gravity bends space itself, curving it around massive objects, creating gentle distortions. This bending of space can even affect light, causing it to curve, creating effects like gravitational lensing, where distant objects appear stretched or magnified. Black holes are one of the most extreme examples of this, where space curves so deeply that nothing can escape. But even black holes are not permanent. Over incredibly long time scales, they slowly lose energy, fading away. Time behaves differently near massive objects, slowing down compared to regions with less gravity. This means time is not absolute. It flows at different rates, depending on where you are. The universe also contains something we cannot see, called dark matter. It doesn't emit light, but its presence can be felt through gravity. It forms a kind of invisible structure, helping galaxies stay together, like a hidden framework. Even more mysterious is dark energy, a force that causes the expansion of the universe to speed up. Instead of slowing down, as once expected, the universe is expanding faster over time, gently accelerating. Cosmic background radiation, a faint glow, fills all of space, a leftover from the early universe. It is almost uniform, but tiny variations within it helped shape the formation of galaxies. These small differences, barely noticeable, eventually led to the vast structures we see today. The universe is filled with patterns, clusters of galaxies, connected by filaments, forming a cosmic web. Between those filaments, there are enormous voids, regions with very few galaxies, almost empty. If you were inside one of those voids, the night sky would look much darker, with far fewer stars visible. Stars themselves come in many types. Some burn hot and blue, others glow cooler and red. Their color depends on their temperature, with hotter stars appearing bluer and cooler ones appearing redder. As stars age, they change, expanding, cooling, sometimes becoming red giants. Our sun will eventually follow this path, growing larger before shedding its outer layers. What remains will be a white dwarf, a small, dense remnant, slowly cooling over billions of years. More massive stars end differently, collapsing under their own gravity, becoming neutron stars or black holes. Neutron stars are incredibly dense, with matter packed so tightly that atoms are crushed together. They can spin rapidly, sending beams of radiation into space, appearing to pulse as they rotate. These are called pulsars, steady, rhythmic, like distant cosmic signals. Space itself can ripple, carrying gravitational waves, tiny distortions that move outward from massive events. These waves were first directly detected not long ago, confirming predictions made many years before. They travel silently, stretching and compressing space as they pass. The universe has no edge that we can see, only a limit to what we can observe, called the observable universe. Beyond that, there may be much more, but the light has not had enough time to reach us yet. In the far future, galaxies will drift so far apart that many will no longer be visible. The night sky will grow darker, quieter, with fewer points of light. Stars will eventually burn out, one by one, leaving behind faint remnants over unimaginable timescales. Even those remnants will fade, cooling into darkness. But for now, the universe is still full of light, still active, still gently evolving. Every second, new stars are born and old ones quietly fade. This constant cycle continues, slow and steady, without urgency. And here, in this moment, you are part of it all. Your breath follows a rhythm, just like the cycles of the cosmos. Your body rests under the same laws that guide galaxies. There is nothing you need to change, nothing you need to control. Just let your thoughts drift, like stars in a wide sky. Allow each idea to pass, without holding on to it. The universe does not rush, and neither do you. Everything unfolds in its own time, and as the quiet continues, as the vastness stretches endlessly above, you can simply rest, letting yourself drift further and further, until the thoughts grow softer, the space grows darker, and sleep arrives gently, without effort. Just stay where you are. No need to move, no need to think too much. Let your breathing settle into its own slow rhythm, and imagine yourself floating gently, not falling, just drifting, surrounded by a quiet, endless space. The universe is not only vast, it is also incredibly calm. Most of it exists in silence, with distances so large that even light takes ages to travel between points, creating a stillness that is hard to imagine. Far beyond our solar system, there are clouds of gas so large they span light years, slowly shifting, barely moving, yet over time, they give birth to new stars in a process so gradual it feels almost timeless. Inside these clouds, gravity pulls material together, forming dense regions, and eventually those regions ignite, becoming stars, beginning a life that will last millions or billions of years. Some of these stellar nurseries glow softly, hidden behind dust, their light filtered, creating a gentle haze in the darkness. There are regions in space where stars form in clusters, hundreds, sometimes thousands, all born from the same cloud, moving together through the galaxy like quiet families. Over time, these clusters slowly drift apart, their stars spreading out, each one following its own path. The Milky Way itself is constantly rotating, slowly turning, completing one full rotation every couple 100 million years, a motion so slow we never notice. As it rotates, stars move in calm orbits, rising and falling slightly, like waves, but on a cosmic scale. Some stars travel faster than others, and a few are even ejected from galaxies, becoming runaway stars, drifting alone through intergalactic space. These lonely stars carry their light into the darkness, without a galaxy to call home, just moving quietly through the vast. There are also massive clouds between stars, filled with molecules, including simple organic compounds, the early ingredients of chemistry. These molecules form naturally in cold, dark regions, showing that even in space, complex structures can arise without effort. Comets, made of ice and dust, drift through solar systems, following long, stretched-out paths, sometimes taking thousands of years to return. When they approach a star, they warm slightly, releasing gas, creating soft, glowing tails that stretch behind them. Asteroids, smaller and rocky, move quietly as well, remnants from the early formation of planets, never quite forming into something larger. Some planets have rings, delicate bands of ice and rock, orbiting them in thin, flat layers, slowly shifting over time. Saturn's rings are the most well-known, but other planets have them too, faint and subtle, barely visible. These rings are not solid, but made of countless small pieces, each one orbiting at its own speed, creating a smooth, continuous appearance. There are moons with strange surfaces, covered in ice or rock, or even liquid beneath their crusts. Some moons have oceans hidden below thick layers of ice. Quiet, dark waters that may have existed for billions of years. Others are covered in volcanoes, slowly reshaping their surfaces, releasing heat from within. There are planets where the winds move faster than anything on Earth, reaching incredible speeds, yet still, far away, it all remains silent. On some worlds, storms can last for centuries, slowly swirling, never truly stopping, like calm but endless motions. Jupiter's Great Red Spot, for example, is a storm that has been active for hundreds of years, a steady, unhurried system. Space is filled with radiation, energy traveling across vast distances, invisible, but always present. Some of this radiation comes from distant events, like supernovae, or the centers of galaxies, carrying information across the universe. Even so, by the time it reaches us, it is faint, softened by distance, almost like a whisper. There are objects called quasars, incredibly bright centers of distant galaxies, powered by massive black holes. They shine so intensely that they can outshine entire galaxies, yet they exist billions of light years away, their light taking so long to reach us. When we observe them, we are looking deep into the past, seeing what the universe looked like long ago. The further we look, the earlier we see, like peeling back layers of time. There's a limit to how far we can see, not because space ends, but because light hasn't had enough time to travel farther. This creates a kind of horizon beyond which everything remains unseen. For now, space itself may be flat or slightly curved. On the largest scales, scientists are still exploring this, but regardless of its shape, it continues to expand steadily, without pause. Galaxies are not evenly spread out. They form clusters, groups bound together by gravity, moving slowly as units. Our galaxy is part of a small group called the local group, which includes Andromeda, another large galaxy moving slowly toward us. In billions of years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will merge, not in a sudden crash, but in a slow, graceful blending. Their stars will pass by each other, rarely colliding, forming a new, larger galaxy over time. The night sky in that distant future would look very different, filled with new patterns of light. But that moment is so far away. It exists beyond any immediate concern. Just another gentle change in the universe. There are theories about how the universe might end. Some suggest it will keep expanding forever, growing colder, darker. Others imagine different possibilities, but all of them unfold over timescales so vast, they feel almost like stillness. The concept of time itself may not be as simple as it feels. At very small scales, it may behave differently, less continuous, more subtle. Space and time are connected, forming what we call space-time, a fabric that can stretch, bend, and ripple. Mass and energy shape this fabric, creating the effects we experience as gravity. Even light follows these curves, moving along the paths shaped by space-time. Quantum physics describes the smallest scales of reality, where particles behave in ways that feel almost dreamlike. They can exist in multiple states until observed, shifting between possibilities. These behaviors are quiet, subtle, happening constantly beneath everything we see. The universe operates on both vast scales and incredibly small ones, both equally important, both equally calm in their own way. Even now, as you rest, countless particles move within your body, tiny interactions happening silently. Your heartbeat, your breathing, all following natural rhythms, just like the movements of planets and stars. There's a kind of harmony in all of this, a balance between motion and stillness. Nothing in the universe is truly separate. Everything is connected through forces, through time, through origin. You are not outside of it. You are part of the same unfolding story, and just like the universe, you are allowed to slow down. There is no need to rush through this moment. No need to hold on to every thought. Just let them pass, like distant stars drifting across a quiet sky. Feel the calm, the stillness, the space around you. Let your body grow heavier, more relaxed, as if gravity itself is gently pulling you into rest. Your breathing becomes softer, slower, your mind quieter, more distant, and somewhere far away, a star continues to shine, steady and calm, just as you continue to drift deeper and deeper until everything fades into a soft darkness and sleep arrives naturally, without effort. Just let yourself settle even more. There's nothing you need to hold on to, nothing you need to remember. Just allow each word to pass through your mind, like soft light moving across a dark sky. And imagine yourself gently floating, not in a hurry, just carried by the quiet rhythm of the universe. The deeper we look into space, the more we begin to understand how calm everything truly is. Even the most powerful events, the birth of stars, the merging of galaxies, all unfold slowly, over millions or billions of years, so slow that from a distance, it all feels completely still. In the vast stretches between galaxies, there's a kind of silence that has existed for ages. No sound, no movement that we can feel, just distance, stretching farther than the mind can comfortably imagine. And yet, even in that emptiness, there are particles, tiny traces of matter, drifting gently, never truly at rest, always present in some quiet way. Some regions of space are colder than anything we experience on Earth, so cold that atoms barely move, existing in near stillness, almost like time itself has softened. There are also regions filled with light, but not harsh or overwhelming, just a gentle glow from countless distant stars, blending together into a soft brightness. When astronomers observe the universe, they are not just looking outward, they are looking backward in time. Each observation is a glimpse into what once was. A galaxy seen 1 billion light years away is not as it is now, but as it was 1 billion years ago, its light carrying a memory across space. This means that in a single image of the sky, we are seeing many different moments in time, layered together, quietly coexisting. Some of the light reaching us today began its journey before Earth had even formed, traveling across the universe, uninterrupted, until finally arriving. It's a slow and patient process. Light does not rush. It simply continues, moving forward, always steady. There are stars that shine with a steady brightness, unchanged for long periods, while others vary, growing brighter and dimmer over time. These changes are not sudden, but gradual, like a slow breathing, expanding and contracting in quiet cycles. Binary star systems, where two stars orbit each other, move in delicate balance, each one influenced by the other's gravity, circling endlessly. In some of these systems, one star can draw material from the other, creating a faint glow, a soft exchange of energy. Over time, this can lead to sudden bursts of light, but even those events are part of long, slow processes. There are also stars that move through the galaxy carrying planetary systems with them, entire systems drifting together, like small islands in a vast ocean. Our own solar system is moving too, orbiting the center of the Milky Way at incredible speed, yet we don't feel it. Everything around us moves together, smoothly. It takes our solar system about 225 million years to complete one orbit around the galaxy, a journey so long, it's hard to fully grasp. Since the time of the dinosaurs, we haven't even completed one full orbit, just a small fraction of the path. And still, everything continues, without interruption, without urgency. There are regions where massive stars have ended their lives, leaving behind glowing remnants, clouds of gas expanding outward, slowly fading. These remnants, often shaped like delicate patterns, can remain visible for thousands of years before dispersing into space. They carry with them the elements created within the star, enriching the surrounding region, preparing it for future star formation. In this way, the universe recycles itself, not quickly, but gradually, one generation of stars giving rise to the next. Even black holes, often thought of as final endpoints, can influence their surroundings, shaping the motion of nearby matter. Some black holes release powerful jets of energy, extending far into space, but even these jets stretch over vast distances, unfolding slowly at the centers of galaxies. Supermassive black holes sit quietly, millions or billions of times more massive than the sun, yet often inactive, simply existing. Space itself can expand faster than the speed of light, not because objects are moving through space that quickly, but because space itself is stretching. This expansion does not affect everything equally. Smaller systems like galaxies remain bound together by gravity, continuing their slow motion. On the largest scales, though, distances increase, and the universe grows wider, more open. There are theoretical ideas about multiple universes, each with its own laws, its own structure, but for now, they remain possibilities, quiet thoughts in the background of science. The observable universe, the part we can see, is only a portion of what might exist. Beyond it, there may be much more, forever out of reach. But even within what we can observe, there is more than enough to fill the mind with calm wonder. There are tiny fluctuations in space at the quantum level, where particles appear and disappear like brief flickers, always happening. These fluctuations are small, but they are part of the fabric of reality, underlying everything. Time flows forward, always, but the rate at which it flows can change. depending on motion and gravity. Clocks on fast-moving objects tick slightly slower, and clocks near massive objects also slow down. Subtle differences, but real. These effects are not noticeable in everyday life, but they become important when we study the universe in detail. The laws that govern the cosmos are consistent. They apply everywhere, from the smallest particles to the largest galaxies. This consistency creates a sense of order, even within the vastness. Nothing is random without structure. Everything follows patterns, even if those patterns are complex. The night sky has guided humans for thousands of years, used for navigation, for storytelling, for quiet reflection. Even now, looking up at the stars can bring a sense of calm, a reminder of something larger, something steady. The universe does not demand anything from you. It simply exists, allowing everything within it to unfold naturally. Stars do not try to shine. They simply do, following their nature. Planets do not try to orbit. They simply move, guided by gravity. And in the same way, you do not need to force anything in this moment. Your breathing happens naturally, slow and steady. Your body knows how to rest, how to settle. Your thoughts, even if they wander, will eventually soften. If you let them pass, imagine them like distant lights, appearing, then fading. No need to follow them. No need to hold them. Just let them drift, like everything else in the universe, far away. Galaxies continue their slow dance, moving through space, shaping and reshaping over time. Stars continue to form and fade in cycles that have repeated for billions of years. Light continues to travel, carrying stories from distant places, and here, in this quiet moment, you are part of that same story. Not separate, not isolated, but connected through the same laws, the same origins. Your existence is part of the universe's long unfolding, just another gentle expression of it. And just like the universe, you are allowed to be still, allowed to rest, without needing to understand everything, allowed to drift, without needing direction. Feel the calm around you, the softness of the moment, your body growing heavier, more relaxed, your breathing becoming slower, deeper, the space in your mind widening, becoming quieter, as if you are floating, far away, surrounded by stars. No noise, no urgency, just a steady, peaceful stillness. And as that stillness deepens, you can let go a little more, letting everything fade gently into the background until there is only calm, only quiet, and the soft, effortless pull of sleep guiding you the rest of the way. Just allow yourself to sink even deeper now. There's nothing to follow, nothing to remember. You don't need to hold on to any idea. Let each word simply pass, like a distant light drifting slowly across a quiet sky. And imagine yourself floating farther out, beyond everything familiar, where the universe feels softer, slower, almost weightless. Far beyond the edges of our galaxy, there are stretches of space so vast, so open, that even entire galaxies seem like small points of light, scattered gently across an endless darkness. And in those spaces, time feels different, not faster or slower, just wide, unhurried, like everything has all the time it could ever need. The universe did not rush to become what it is. It unfolded gradually, layer by layer, moment by moment, from the simplest beginnings to the quiet complexity we see now. And even that process continues, still unfolding, still expanding, still becoming. In the earliest times, before stars existed, the universe was filled with a soft glow. A uniform light spread evenly in all directions. As it expanded, that light stretched, cooling, fading into what we now detect as a faint background, still present everywhere, like a memory that never fully disappears. That ancient light has been traveling for billions of years, uninterrupted, crossing the entire observable universe. And even now, it quietly passes through you, unnoticed. A gentle reminder that everything is connected through time. There are regions of space where gravity has gathered matter into immense clusters, thousands of galaxies bound together, moving slowly in relation to one another, like a calm gathering of distant lights. Each galaxy carrying its own stars, its own systems, its own quiet stories. And between these clusters, long filaments stretch, forming a vast cosmic web, connecting structures across unimaginable distances, with voids in between, spaces so empty they feel almost untouched. If you could drift into one of those voids, the sky would appear darker than anything we know, with only a few distant points of light barely visible, everything else hidden by distance. And yet, even there, the universe is still present, still active in subtle ways, particles moving, fields existing, quiet processes continuing without interruption. Stars, though they appear constant, are always changing. Deep within their cores, nuclear reactions transform simple elements into more complex ones, releasing energy that slowly makes its way outward, eventually becoming the light we see. This journey, from the center of a star to its surface, can take thousands, even millions of years, energy moving slowly, step by step, until it finally escapes into space. And once it leaves, it travels freely, across vast distances, sometimes never encountering anything at all. Some light travels forever, stretching as space expands, becoming softer, less energetic, but never truly stopping. There are stars that formed early in the universe, ancient stars, still shining today, carrying with them information about the past, like quiet witnesses to the universe's early days. Others are much younger, forming in more recent times, adding new light to the sky, continuing the cycle. Some stars live in crowded regions, surrounded by others, while some drift alone, isolated, moving through quiet parts of the galaxy. There are planets that exist in perfect darkness, far from any star, with no sunlight to warm them, only faint heat from their interiors, slowly fading over time. These worlds drift silently, unseen, cold and still, yet they remain part of the universe's quiet balance. On other planets, conditions may be very different. Thick atmospheres, strange weather, unfamiliar landscapes, but all of it unfolds slowly, under the same physical laws. There are places where magnetic fields stretch far into space, guiding charged particles, creating soft glows like auroras dancing quietly above distant worlds. These lights, though invisible from far away, move gently, following invisible paths, shaped by forces we cannot see. Even empty space contains energy, a baseline presence that cannot be removed, always there, subtle, constant. This energy plays a role in how the universe expands, influencing its long-term behavior, though its true nature remains uncertain. Time itself, when viewed on cosmic scales, feels almost like a dimension we move through, not something that pushes us, but something we drift along. The past, present, and future are connected, forming a continuous flow, though we experience it one moment at a time. On the smallest scales, time may not even be smooth, but made of tiny intervals, so small they are almost impossible to measure. Space, too, may have a smallest unit, a limit to how finely it can be divided, suggesting that even the vastness has a kind of structure beneath it. These ideas remain part of ongoing exploration, quiet questions that scientists continue to study, slowly, carefully. The universe does not reveal everything at once. It allows understanding to grow gradually, over time, just like everything else. There are particles that rarely interact with anything, passing through matter as if it isn't there, moving through your body, through the earth, without leaving a trace. Trillions of these particles pass through you every second, silently, effortlessly, without you ever noticing. This quiet interaction is happening constantly, part of the unseen activity that fills the universe. There are also waves traveling through space, not sound, but distortions in space-time itself, created by massive movements, like the merging of black holes. These waves spread outward, carrying information about those events, stretching and compressing space as they pass. By the time they reach us, they are incredibly faint, but still detectable, a soft signal from something that happened far away. The universe holds memory in many forms, in light, in motion, in structure, each carrying traces of what came before. When we study the stars, we are not just seeing them, we are reading their history, learning about their past through the light they emit. The same is true for galaxies. Their shapes, their motions, all reveal something about how they formed and evolved. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything is influenced by its surroundings, shaped by interactions, even if those interactions are subtle. Gravity connects everything, even across great distances. Its influence never fully disappears. And yet, despite all this connection, there is also space, room for stillness, room for quiet. The universe balances motion and rest, activity and calm, in a way that feels almost gentle. You can feel that same balance in your own body. your breath moving in and out, your heart beating steadily. You don't need to control it. It happens naturally, just like the movements of the cosmos. Imagine yourself drifting through space, not cold, not alone, just peaceful, surrounded by soft points of light, each star distant, yet present, each one part of a larger pattern. Even if that pattern isn't fully visible, there is no edge pressing in, no boundary to reach, just openness in every direction. This openness allows everything to exist without pressure, without urgency. Nothing is rushing toward an end. Everything is simply continuing, unfolding at its own pace. The idea of forever in the universe is not overwhelming. It is calm, because everything happens slowly. Changes take time, vast amounts of time, giving space for everything to settle, to evolve gently. Even the most energetic events, like supernovae, are rare and brief compared to the long, quiet periods in between. Most of the universe exists in those quiet periods, long stretches of calm, where very little changes at once. And that calm is always present, even if we don't notice it. You can allow yourself to match that calm, to slow down, to soften. There is nothing in this moment that needs your effort, no problem that must be solved right now, no thought that needs to be held onto. Just let them pass, one by one, fading gently. Your body becomes heavier, more supported, as if resting on something soft and steady. Your breathing slows, becoming deeper, more relaxed. Your mind begins to drift, not focused, just floating, like a small point of light, moving through a vast, peaceful sky. And as you continue to drift, everything grows quieter. The distance between thoughts increases, leaving more space, more stillness, like the spaces between stars, wide, calm, undisturbed. There is comfort in that space, in that quiet. Nothing demands your attention there. Nothing pulls you away from rest. Just a steady, gentle stillness surrounding you. And as that stillness deepens, you can let go even more, letting your awareness fade softly, like light traveling farther and farther, becoming dimmer, more distant, until there is only calm, only quiet, and the slow, effortless arrival of sleep wrapping around you, gently, completely. Just stay in that softness. No need to shift. No need to follow anything too closely. Let your mind drift the way the universe drifts, slowly, naturally, without effort, as if you are floating somewhere far beyond everything familiar, where time stretches out and everything feels calm. There are moments in the universe where almost nothing changes for millions of years. Vast regions where stars remain steady, galaxies move only slightly, and the silence feels complete, not empty, but full in a quiet way, like a pause that never needs to end. If you could rest in one of those regions, you wouldn't feel motion, even though everything is moving.